Welcome to a video showing why I will be getting one of the NBA basketball games this year, but not the other. I haven't gotten any basketball games since NBA 2K16, so almost 2015. So yeah, that's 3 years ago, so that seems like a good enough gap to go ahead and get one. And there has been some changes since then, more than just rosters and all that. There's been some new things added, but honestly, on both sides, there's no huge changes, so that's why I've waited this long to get the games. But now I've decided that this year I will be getting one of them. Y'all have already seen some videos on the channel of NBA 2K19 stuff. That's its demo. And there was one video of NBA Live 19 demo as well. But this first clip I'm showing here is from also NBA Live 19. I've had more 2K clips on the channel in general because it already had its prelude that goes into my career, while NBA Live is more of like pickup games and stuff and less of a story mode. So it's just better content to show it as a story mode, but that's not the reason I made the decision. I'll show this video and then analyze it and go from there. To begin with, this is a team of online players, meaning not the AI that I'm on, against an AI team, which in theory sounds unfair, but in reality, nowadays, AI can be made as hard as possible, like even more than humanly possible. Games have the technology to make the AI just straight up better than the humans, so the old adage of a human should always be able to beat the AI in the video game is not true anymore. And well, this AI is pretty big and complex. This is one of the better games that my team has played overall. Again, I say overall, maybe not to this point, but overall, it kind of ended that way. And, well, we're still down. The home team is the AI. So I'll start the clip with that information. Most of all, remember this is NBA Live 19 footage that I'm showing. So anyway, to begin with, that's where the important bit is. I'm showing it. There is actually a mistake by the AI there caused by the online player. They're doing full court press, so the AI makes a mistake, and it's a turnover by the AI, so that was good defense on the part of the actual player there, not the AI. So, here's where it comes into where I'm into play as well as the rest of the team. I am the center, as I was with Live 18 demo as well. As I said with that demo too, remember to watch that special Titan, because why not? Out of all the centers, which is I'm generally best at playing no matter the game, live or 2K, the best centers are Wilt Chamberlain, who, rip. He was probably the best overall, but well, sadly he passed away. And then there's Shaq, he's famous, he's probably the most famous of all the centers in terms of recognition. But, well, he's bald, and nowadays he's a little bit, out of shape, maybe. And then there's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is famous for back in the day. He had the afro and the mutton chops. Y'all can see where I'm going with my player. But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm just saying that in general because it may very well make my player look like that in either game that I get. Just that's how I have it in this game in general, so there's a backstory for that may be continuing on later. But anyway, here's this. I'm the center, so aka I'm in the post. And again, we have the ball back there because the AI made a mistake that the online player caused. So now I assume power forward is posting up there, that's fine. So I go to try to get the defender stuck, meaning I'm moving, so I can't really do a pick, but I know if I'm able to go in the correct direction, the defender will get stuck, and then either me or that player will be open, depending on where they get stuck. So here's what happens. Right now the game's just pretty much glitching out. We're kind of all four stuck. Meaning me, the player, is trying to get stuck. The player has the ball, and then the AI who is guarding the player with the ball. We're literally all like stuck right now. And then that just makes the ball explode. The ball just goes randomly in the air. Luckily I was pointed that way anyway, so even though I'm the slowest player in the court, I was able to get to it first. But then this glitch, I really don't think it happened in general, just everyone gets stuck and then the ball like explodes or something. But no harm, no foul, I get it back, so whatever, I recovered from one glitch, that's not that bad really. And look at that, there's someone actually open there, but I'm a center, I'm not really going to try to pass over two defenders there, so I just pass it to who's sort of open there, and I'm hoping they end up passing it to who's open in the post in time. I didn't really want to risk it. We were already down anyway. But ultimately, it's not what ended up happening, but really no harm, no foul yet either, because there's still time to do something. So, that player shoots and misses, but I'm able to get the rebound. And I'll go back a little bit, because this is a moment worth showing. I will say this, y'all saw a little red thing come up when I got to the rebound. Well, here's the instance before that rebound. As you can see here, there's someone on my team, being myself, over here. And there's the players who should be out around the three-point line, on the three-point line. And then there's what I assume to be a power forward pretty close to the post, but not downright clogging it. And then there's just someone in the post there to help also get a rebound. And then there's one other player in the mix too, but that pretty much means there's one player to guard a fast break, one player to try to get a rebound under the basket, one player to get a rebound if it, like, bounces away from the basket, like bounces off the rim and pretty far out. And there's one on each side there, too. But then look what the negative is for. No, it's not just like a missed shot that the team has, that's an individual grade, supposedly, and it's also for bad spacing. I would assume that's an individual grade because of the glitch that happened before, but that was such a delayed reaction. If that was what it was for, it's way too delayed for it to matter now. And I ended up getting the rebound anyway, so I was fine and dandy. It recessed the shot clock, and I'm right under the basket. So let's see how the defender reacts. I may pass it out, but I'm taller than the defender. So I think I made the right decision there. Just go up for an easy dunk. I'm 7 foot something, so I can easily dunk. I'm a post scorer build, so just, yeah, that makes sense. And I will say this too, I've yet to get any positive thing for getting the offensive rebound or making the dunk. I mean, this looks like a pretty easy dunk that I should be able to make. And then that ties up the game eventually. For all the glitches, for all the chaos, it still ended up being tied because it's a good team hustle that ended up benefiting me as well as the team. Really. As y'all can see there, I got the rebound. Bad spacing. Even though I was able to get spaced out enough where there was no one around me. Either opponent or on my team. I still got the rebound. I go up for dunk. The AI doesn't even jump. So therefore that should be an easily made dunk. Still, somehow or another, I miss when the AI does not even contest and dunk at the basket by a post-scoring center who's 7 foot something tall. I still get negative for missed shot. So does a dunk really count as shooting? It's generally, if you say it's like a shot, that's like a jump shot. You don't generally call like layup a form of like shooting. In shooting drills, it requires taking a jump shot, and then they're separate layup and dunk drills. So really, just that coding in general is wrong. Plus, the big issue there is why would I miss that anyway? I was pretty much wide open given that the AI didn't jump, and even if the AI did jump, look where I was positioned. It is kind of an on-the-fly type thing of if you should or shouldn't pass out, but just, I'll try to describe it the best I can. I'm no expert, but this just made logical sense of where I was. As y'all can see here, I'm jumping pretty much straight up. And by jumping straight up, that means I myself am not moving. The reason I'm not moving is because where the rim is right there, I can't really move much forward. And there's no one behind me, so that means even if the defender would have jumped, they couldn't have jumped higher than the rim itself, or else there would be goaltending because their arm would be like above the rim while in the cylinder. And they didn't, and I was correct in that assumption. They didn't jump, I assume, because of that. So, easy dunk, right? No. I still get penalized for that somehow or another. And honestly, just doesn't make sense to me. It's an immediate negative for missed shot, even if it's a wide open dunk. It's a post scoring center should never really miss. And then there's this. The AI immediately fast break, even though quote unquote there was bad spacing, even though I already explained it really wasn't. I still have like the negative showing up, but yet I never got a positive for the offensive rebound. I obviously did get. There's no glitching there. There's no way you can call that bad spacing or missed shot. That was an obvious offensive rebound that most definitely happened, and there's no disputing that. I never got a plus for that. Plus, on a team scale, the whole team is already back on a missed dunk by a center who was pretty much open. The whole team thought that I was going to miss that, so aka they were programmed to know I was going to miss that on an easy wide open dunk. And they ran to the other way because they know that, and then they penalized me for that, even though there's nothing in real life that signifies why the programming should work that way. AKA missing a pretty much open dunk of a player can easily dunk, and then when I do miss, the whole other team already be running down the court because they knew I already missed before it happened. And anyway, y'all probably already know how this ends. They were able to run up the court real fast, Mike. And it's actually still pretty well contested by the team in general, again, including me. Like, look, at this point, it looks like there's really only, like, one person to beat there, and kind of screwed, but that person held their own enough for me, and even another to catch up there, and that's 3 people there on that one person who's either gonna dunk or pass out. In this situation, that means if they pass out, then there's a lot of passing lanes that us 3 can either get. That affects the pass to where it just goes out of bounds or something, or gets tipped. Something along the lines of that would most likely happen if you pass out. There are 3 people already in midair. Or if they go for a dunk or layup or something that's just heavily contested, and then in theory they don't make it. Either gets blocked or just there's enough to contest or they miss or whatever. Nope, they dunk over 3/5 of the entire team. That's where I gave up all hope on NBA Live. The computer is programmed to where, even if it logically should have something happen in terms of the online team benefiting, and it doesn't happen that way, they just immediately go and benefit themselves. Meaning the computer is already smarter than a player in the sense of it already knows when the game is programmed for the player to make a mistake that they didn't cause, and then they immediately capitalize for it. So it's basically insult to injury. The majority of people watch this channel, I'd assume, are Gran Turismo fans, that's fair to say, and then if y'all are from that, then y'all know that I have my fair share of insult to injury rants on GG Sport. I'm thinking about doing a boycott of that game in general. And it might only be the sport mode, but it could be all of it. So I'm definitely not going to pay money for a game that also includes insult to injury. Because that's just an insult to me, and it's an injury to my bank account. And this isn't the only time stuff like this happened. This is stuff like this happening in succession. So that's why I sold this one, but stuff like this happened individually quite a few times. And Live 19, and I ain't gonna say 2K19 is perfect, but there's already clips of that on our channel, so go watch them and then y'all can make your own assumptions. I will say this, it's fun, it's not really a downright chore. I haven't played against other real players yet, but then again, this isn't technically against real players, it's with real players. Which in theory, there should be more chemistry between a team of real people and a team of me and then all the rest AI, just because, well, real people are real. It has to be pretty easy. But then yet, the real people playing together, a lot of chaos ensued. Me with AI playing together, well, those clips are on the channel of 2K, and then again, y'all can make your own assumptions. So, NBA Live seems to be trying that. I'll give EA credit, which is a very rare thing anybody says, but it does seem like they're stepping up their game somewhat. In all aspects, not just NBA. They seem to be realizing the racing games are a bit lackluster lately, so they remade one of the better ones ever that pretty much everyone likes. Everyone seems to at least like Burnout Paradise. Some people like 3 better. I'm a bit equal. I like them both. They're enough different to where it's hard to pick a favorite. They're pretty different from each other. But they still remade that, and it got a good reception. And even in this front, too. This game is a good amount better than NBA Live 18. 2K19 is barely better than 2K18. Really, but the only truly quote-unquote new feature 2K19 seems to have is they pretty much just brought back a revamped version of Blacktop with online players using real players. Meaning my team can have 3 players of like LeBron James, Stephen Curry, and Wilt Chamberlain, and then the other real player has 3 NBA players on their team that they like to use online against me. That was in 2K16, but I don't think it's been instituted, so now they bring it back and make it look like a new feature. Granted, I played that feature a whole heck of a heap in 2K16, and that was the majority of videos I did on that game. So that's a good selling point as well, but honestly, the main reason I'm getting 2K19 is because they're finally letting you skip the cutscenes. Hallelujah, it only took them 9 years for my career to have skippable cutscenes. And now it does, so now I'll get it, and yeah, it's the better game overall. There's been less improvements of it, but it's still quite a bit ahead of Live. Will I've ever reached 2K at the pace they're on now? Yes, but can they continue this pace realistically? We'll just have to wait and see, but at least for 2018-19 season, I'm getting 2K. Maybe down the road, I'll have enough respect in EA to get the Live game. In the past 10 years or so, EA's made me lose a lot of respect, but in the last about 6 months or so, I've gained a little bit of respect back. But we'll just have to wait and see, but for now, Live is far from good, and 2K is good enough. So I'm getting NBA 2K19. I'm not getting NBA Live 19, and well, hopefully y'all enjoy the 2K content, and again, maybe in the future I might get Live, eventually, but this year it's 2K, and there'll be some new content I hope y'all enjoy. But still, even though it's not the greatest, it's still the best available, which is worth a yeehaw.